If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joey Barrett in the big garden today, and going to basically plant everything now in one day, as I have waited an extra week from traditional planting date here in southeast Wisconsin, zone now 6, because last week and all this the week prior was all temperatures low 40s, high 30s, 50s for highs. Soil was way too cold to plant our summer crops, so I have worked all the beds last week, and now I can come in here and plant without any hesitation, as we are in the summer temperatures now. So what I've got here, I have planted some things. I did plant several weeks ago some potatoes that have sprouted in the pantry. I've got leeks and onions up there, and then I did plant some potatoes here. Garlic is doing quite well. It's starting to put on scapes. That'll be happening here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll harvest them. The Jerusalem artichokes, in which we have always had in this patch since 2011, has been doing well. This here is garlic. We planted garlic here years ago and clearly didn't harvest all of it, and now it just continues to come back year after year. The downside to that is the bulbs continue to get smaller and smaller because the resistance, they cannot expand as you would take a single clove and plant in a designated area and allow it to grow to its potential. It could be reversed by planting the smaller bulb 4, 5, 6 years and then getting larger bulbs eventually. So what I have here is a mixture of royalty purple green beans, which when planted, or when planted and grown, they are purple, but when harvested and then cooked, in the cooking process, they lose their pigmentation. It's not a morphitation of genetic modification of any sort of whatsoever. It's just the way that is. And then I've got regular green beans here. The royalty purple beans are many, many years old, so I will really plant those heavy in order to get a stance, and then if I have too many, I'll just wean them out. I'm going about every 4 inches. No, every 6 inches I'm dropping 2 of the fresh seeds in, and then where the royalty beans are, I'm going to drop 3 in, because I've got plenty of those old seeds, and I do want to make sure I don't have gaps in here. I'm going about I'll go about ½ inch deep is where I'm going. I've got these trenches a little deeper than what they should be, so I will fold them over and then have kind of a valley, and then run my irrigation system next to that valley in order for the water to catch in that. And then the pole beans will be Blue Lake pole beans, same distance apart but just up against that trellis, and I'm going to leave the weeds there, or what weeds are there, and then this bed will be done. I'll hook all the irrigation system up at the very end, because I've got to modify some of the irrigation system at the lower end of the garden. Just going to take a leaf rake and just gently cover the seeds, making sure I get about ½ inch of soil on top of them. Get a little more, not a big deal. It's whenever you get too little that they don't have enough soil contact in order to germinate correctly. All right. Now, while I'm here for now, I'll run my irrigation system. Won't turn it on, but I'll get that so this bed will be completed. So this will be the tomato bed, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go about every 18 inches, slow it down a little bit, and drill a hole. I've got all different sizes of tomato starts, and I'll get all my holes dug here. And then lay out my plant. I have prepped this bed when I tilled it with some 646 fertilizer. So I'm not going to add anything in the hole at the time that I put the tomato in the ground. So I've got 27 holes here. So I've got 4 store-bought. The rest are ones that I've started. Some are very small, some are larger, and majority of them, 24 of them of the 27 are beefsteak. So all I'm going to do is just go deep with them if I need to. If they're small, then I don't need to go deep. I'll just plant them as is. Not going to put anything in around the plant. I will, in the coming weeks, come back and cage the center and then put a Florida weave on both of the external sides here to get the plant up off the ground, but I'm not going to do that right now. And then I'll get the irrigation system established in this bed as well, and I will fence around these 2 beds here to keep the rabbits out. The beans especially, I will go ahead and do the tomatoes just as a preliminary precautionary measure. Something like this one here, much too long, so I'm going to trench it. And even that may not be a long enough trench. I'm okay with that. So this is going to be the pepper bed. I have all sweet bell peppers, or sweet peppers of multiple different sizes, in this 1 gallon grow bag, which was to be transplanted into their individual cells about 6 weeks ago. Never got to it. So the way I'm going to do this is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24 plants in this 4 by 12 bed. Peppers can be planted fairly close together and still have very good success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip that out of that 1 gallon grow bag. I'm not going to plant all of them here, but this will give me access to chunks of them, and I'll plant the biggest ones and I'll start dividing them out. Either way, the small ones will grow, but if they're really tiny, really small seedlings, I'm going to discard them and work with the larger ones. I mean, that's a very nice pepper plant there. Put the smaller ones there for now. See if I can come up with 24 large ones or decent sized ones. And keep the smaller ones. I can use those elsewhere if I need them or have them as backups. I did drill the holes like I did with the tomatoes. You don't have to plant them deep, just about the same depth in which they were in the container here. Use this soil that's come out for these smaller ones to put back in. Those aren't terrible. Get the biggest ones here. Not going to add any additional fertilizer. Use the same 464 on this bed as I did the tomato bed. And the soil in this container is fairly medium moist, like it's damp. And that's allowing me to gently separate these plants out without damaging the root, overall damaging the roots. Going after the biggest ones first, and then next group of big ones, and then alright, so easy. Everything wants to grab on everything. There we go. Now I've got this set of roots here, or plants here. Got 4 of them. I'm just going to gently break apart. Smaller ones, not to be concerned with. And these just come right apart. You know, put them and plant them the same as they did. Same as depth as they were in that container, and then this bed will be done. So in this bed here, I'm going to plant yacons. Now, yacons are a South American root crop that will grow in the States. I've seen as low as zone 4 grow. It produces a root tuber that you harvest after frost. They look like sweet potatoes. They have a sweet, watery apple carrot taste to them. They'll get about 5 to 7 feet tall, and you save the rhizomes each year in order to carry on the plant. That's what I've done since 2014, when we received these from a nursery in Oregon. So I'm just going to plant these. Really disease resistant, really not an issue with anything. They'll produce 3 to 5 pounds of tubers a year on a really good run. Other years, a pound. Some years it's just for the rhizomes. It's been a bad year, and just save the rhizomes to carry on to the next year planting. And we store them in sand in the stairway of the attic over winter to keep them chilled. You can also do this in the back of a refrigerator in a bucket of sand as well. So I've got 2, 4, 5, 10 yacons planted in that bed. And I have 4 planted in this bed. I've got the upper beds planted here, and several of them are already protected. I do have to come and do some more irrigation work next week. I'm just going to take an area here, remove any debris, and we'll take the black beauty seeds and put 2 there, put 1 there, and put 1 there, and see what comes up. That should be, I need 1 plant to come up, and then I'll do another one right here the same way, and then 1 to your left. So this little archway here, 4 T-posts and some rubber coated fencing. Using this as a cucumber bed. It's 4 foot by 4 foot approximately. It's just pallets that have been cut down to fit the bed. I've done Market More cucumbers, slicing cucumbers on the right side and pickling cucumbers on the left side. Both are edible. They don't have to be pickled. You don't want to pickle the Market More or the slicing cucumbers because they turn to really mush. The pickling cucumbers are for pickling but can be consumed in a non-pickle form. So certainly appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to conclude it. We're going to say that's good for now. The rain's moving in. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Joy Baird, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.